Off top, babies born in fall live longer. Play music.
This is the Domonique Foxworth Show.
Welcome to the Domonique Foxworth Show. Very, 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 very special episode of Domonique Foxworth Show. First of all, we're bringing back Bill Barnwell, our weekly guest during football season, which everyone is excited about. Bill looking fatherly and that nice, was that gingham? Button down.
Oh, yeah, it's gingham style. Love that I had a child in the spring. This is literally my last Sunday off for like 6 months. Dominique's like, yeah, you know what? Children born in the fall live longer. Think more about that while you're starting this show.
I'm trying to get the mood right because this is a contentious show. It's your favorite show of the year, which is why we have you here. And I won't keep the audience on the tip of their seats any longer. I'll let them know. I saved the introduction, Charlie. I didn't.
This show's my child.
Yeah.
Let me be quiet and get out the way for the fourth. It's the third annual, but fourth Charlie Kravitz quarterback tears episode, and I can't wait. Do you want to remind people of some of the greatest hits? How do you want to get it?
Yeah, so we've had some hits and misses. Last year was better than the year before. The big misses are I had Caleb Williams as the 8th highest rated quarterback. I had Kirk Cousins still in the tier of the Daks.
There we go.
But the year before is when we really lost it, which was, I think I had Anthony Richardson just outside of the top tier after playing 2.5 games as a rookie, and Josh Dobbs is the top half of the league quarterback. So hand up, not all of them are great, but this is.
I don't like focusing on the negative.
Well, that's the whole thing. Like in totality, I'm batting like 95%.
Yeah, you're great. Your tiers are great. And also the point of the tiers or the highlight of the tiers is the name of the tiers. Like I don't know the names of the tiers. I look forward to hearing Charlie's ridiculous names and making fun of them, feigning of being offended because some of them could hurt some people's feelings and I have to pretend like it upsets me and I'm offended and defend those guys. So let's get to it.
All right, let's get to it. So the one thing we're going to do differently this year is we're going to be more audience focused. We're going to start with the top tier and then work back to the worst and worst quarterbacks because you guys want to hear more about the best guys. Yeah. So the first tier. This tier is called, this tier could miss the playoffs, make the dumbest plays possible by mashing every single button, choke in every big moment they've ever been in the playoffs, literally their pants on TV, or even lose the Super Bowl by 1,000,000 points and they're still the top tier.
Okay.
That's Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes. They've all done those things.
I was surprised that you mixed in a little bit of hate on the top tier. I thought that the top tier would be clear of the insults in the name. I thought the other ones would get it. But
as long as I'm here, I'll be hating.
Yeah, I'm shocked that Mahomes is in that tier also.
I thought about making the tier just Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. Or sorry, just Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson because that's who I actually think are the two best quarterbacks on planet Earth right now. Yeah. But with that said, the fact of the matter is they are going to their pants against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. Thus, I'm reflecting that in my tier ranking.
If there was ever a time for you to reveal what you actually feel about quarterbacks, is it not the Charlie Kravitz quarterback tiers in the preseason when there's no actual evidence or reason or rhyme to actually have to back any of this up?
I'm confused. I might have to put my foot down in the first tier ranking and demand that you separate out these tiers with your honest feelings. Since when, we had a conversation not too long ago about if someone was ranking quarterbacks when they were ranking quarterbacks over the summer, and you and I discussed the right way to rank those quarterbacks because we said that they ranked them wrong and they based their rankings over whose tight end played the best in the playoffs, right?
Yeah. That is my theory. Bill, I don't know if you've heard this theory. I think that the GM poll theory that had Mahomes above Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, it's just that was really tight end rankings because Kelsey had his last good game against the Bills, and Dalton Kincaid and Mark Andrews, I was supposed to call him Mark Miller, and Mark Andrews are completely depressed Lamar and Josh's ranking, and either one of them would have been one if they had made the proper plays. Okay, so you want me to change this tier? It's fluid.
Hold on, Bill. You got to change your tier, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
What is the mandate of this show? What do you tell me every fall over and over again, Charlie?
Say it with your chest.
Tell me to say it with my chest. You're like half saying this. You're like, oh, I wish I could do it. It's your rankings, homie. You can do whatever you want.
It's a terrible way to start.
Say it with your chest.
Is you saying you wish you could do something with your list. Say what you want to. You wore shorts, even though I told you many times don't wear no shorts on my damn show.
This is-
you wore
I
shorts.
kind of like the shorts.
You wore shorts on my show with, I don't know what those are on your feet, with a pair of what are those on your feet?
They're canes. They're like millennial Crocs, and I love them. My feet are so cool.
They're despicable.
Like temperature wise, not appearance wise.
They are despicable.
Okay, so here's the thing. Part of it for my rankings, I know this is foreign to an analytics guy, but I'm here to win. I'm here to win Super Bowls, not put up regular season stats.
If you don't plan
where's
on
Jalen
getting
Hurts?
wet, you can't win.
Where's Jalen Hurts? Dude who went to 2 Super Bowls and
We're
won
getting
one of them
to
in the
him.
last 3 years. But Joe Burrow's in there?
No.
Lamar Jackson is in there? Come on, Charlie.
Okay, so you want me to put Lamar and Josh in a separate tier, Dominique? I will let you name the top tier of this for Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. I'm fine with that.
Okay, so Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. I'm gonna name this the Plessy v. Ferguson tier. Plessy Ferguson.
That's perfect.
These are separate but equal quarterbacks.
We're back.
We are back.
Honestly, that's the perfect improvement to that list. Like,
They are separate but equal quarterbacks.
yeah.
There we go. It is no other. There's no other insinuation I'm making.
Yeah.
I just thought that.
Well, that's the top tier, and then the 1B tier is Burrow and Mahomes, which is if we do this exercise again, starting in the divisional round of the playoffs, we'll flip those tiers because those will be able.
So you just name them there. That's like the playoff quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Okay.
The 1B tier is please don't be mad at me tier. That's what that is.
Yeah.
No,
It's kind of. Well, I guess Mahomes. Burrow played really well last year.
yeah,
Right.
he was incredible.
But he didn't make the playoffs.
But also, chips are down. You want Burrow or Mahomes over Allen or Jackson?
I don't know. I mean,
well, these are my rankings.
Okay,
So that's how I'm
yeah,
putting
yeah,
it next tier. So those 4 guys have also sort of separated themselves. They have established themselves as like the guys in football. They have been the best quarterbacks for now like half a decade and are on this Hall of Fame trajectory. Obviously, Mahomes is a first ballot Hall of Fame if he retired tomorrow. The next group is the only guys who could make the top tier after this year. And that's Jalen Hurts and Jaden Daniels.
ooh, I'm shocked. You put Jaden Daniels in the same tier with Jalen Hurts?
Yeah. Because those are the 2 guys who could burst into the top tier after the season. Like, look, I know there's a million things you could say about Jalen Hurts, which is like the best offensive line, the best running back, 2 elite receivers, an elite defense, elite coaching staff, Howie Roseman, a play that the other GMs in the NFL tried to litigate and owners tried to litigate out of the game in the tush push where he has a bunch of people push him and we just hear about how much he can squat. All of those things are true. All of those things could be used against him. We might talk about his looks as much as his play. But with that said, he has outplayed Patrick Mahomes in 2 Super Bowls. And there is a legitimate chance that he has won a second Super Bowl this year, and then it will be completely undeniable. How long can we hold him out of this tier? And then Jaden Daniels is, look, you talk about how situations can ruin quarterbacks all the time, Dominique. He is situation agnostic. You stuck him in Washington. They won 12 games. They do it again this year, and he's awesome with this team again. We're going to start looking at him like he's Burrow or Allen or Jackson.
The CJ Stroudness of it all just hitting
Get out of
me
here.
over
Get out of here.
the head with a chair. Charlie, you realize what you're setting yourself up for here, right? Like, we're going to be sitting here in week 3 and you're going to be apologizing for this already.
Yeah, here's the difference is they weren't like Daniels was in a totally different tier statistically by QBR and advanced metrics than CJ Stroud was as a rookie. And what he did in the postseason too, when the chips were down, like he was ungodly in those games. And he was sort of the only commander on the field that looked like he belonged against the Eagles. Did they get a double nickel putting up against them? Yes. Was he playing defense? No.
When the chips were down, when he was playing against like
two times.
the JV Lions?
To be clear, Bill Barnwell, the chips have been put down twice in this episode already. My man Charlie is gambling hard. So, I mean, he played well in the playoffs.
He was the second best quarterback in the postseason after Jalen Hurts. He had a better postseason than Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, or Patrick Mahomes.
Congratulations. I don't want to talk about that. I think that you're scared of Philadelphia. I think that's what just happened because there's nothing in you. If I hooked you up to a polygraph, look at me in the eyes, Charlie.
What's the point of football?
Hold on.
What's the point of football?
That's not don't try to undercut my question with a question before I could even get to the question mark. Look me in the eyes, Charlie. Jalen Hurts Jaden Daniels are the same level of quarterback.
No, Jaden Daniels is a million times better than him.
So why they in the same tier then?
Because it's a tier, and these are the only guys who could elevate into an above tier. And
you said a million times better.
Yeah.
Not a million times better means we ain't in the same tier. Don't put me in the neighborhood with somebody I'm a million times better than.
Well, then I would put Jaden Daniels in the top tier, but I'm not going to do that.
Why not? What's going on?
He's got to prove it.
We are gonna what? The Charlie Kravitz tiers
These are gut rankings, not nut rankings yet.
Well, I want to know where those tiers are because that's the ones that I want.
When we re-tier before the playoffs, that's when that will happen.
Wild. What a start.
These are completely reasonable. Having Jaden Daniels 5th and Jalen Hurts 6th.
Whether they're reasonable or not is whether they're honest is what I'm talking
about.
They
are honest.
Charlie,
I would take Jalen Hurts above anyone else on this list.
This became a national phenomenon because you were saying it with your chest. You were putting your balls on the line. Yeah. And now you're like, oh, I don't know, guys.
Now he won't put his balls on the lines. He's only putting his chips down. We don't want chips down. Chess, balls, no chips.
I can't be bullied into this one. I truly believe that. I think this is fine. Those two are paired together because of where they could be in a year. Because of where they could be after that. And I believe that. The next one. Well, you already bullied me into an extra tier, and it's the best tier we had. It's an incredible tier. One that I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
You can say it. I'll give you permission.
The nerds and the tape pros have kind of ruined these guys for me, and they make me want to root against them. But deep down, I know that these guys are really good, and if the situation's right and they're healthy, you can definitely win the big one with them. Tier.
Okay.
That's Matt Stafford and his son, Justin Herbert, who are the same guy. Bill, you've tried to turn me against Justin Herbert. You've tried. Yeah. But then every once in a while, I see the howitzer attached to his neck, and I'm like, nah, this guy's really good at football.
Dominique,
so they're the next tier.
Yeah.
Are you erasing Charlie's brain between each of these tiers? Because you just spent the last 5 minutes arguing about what's the point of football, winning in the postseason. You're giving me all this guff about oh, maybe the numbers aren't there, and now you're saying Justin Herbert is in tier 3. This dude who
tier 4 now. We added a tier.
Tier 4. Excuse me. Has not to keep going back to this point, but pooped his pants in the playoffs twice. I mean, that's the point you're making here.
Next to a guy who has
Justin Herbert. But
counterpoint though,
with your logic.
Counterpoint though, he has legitimate excuses. This isn't like Domonique going on Get Up and being like, Dak Prescott needs more help. Lamar Jackson needs more help. Like Justin Herbert was throwing to Quentin bleeping Johnston and was coached by Brandon Staley for a lot of his career. And last year there's some abominations along the way. Yes, of course there are.
Did Justin Herbert not lose to the Doug Peterson Jaguars, who were a laughingstock from pretty much the second half of 23 through the next part of the entire season, Charlie? What?
It's true.
I don't know who you're hitching your wagons to. It feels like you are your legs are being spread in different directions, and they're going to break if you keep going in different directions like this.
I'm gonna zig. Great job, Charlie. I like this tier.
Oh wow,
guys, cannons. I like cannons.
I mean, it's like some of the logic from tier to tier is inconsistent, but as long as the logic inside the tier is consistent, you can support it. I can get behind this tier. Mm-hmm. However, you can't. It's hard. You can. It's hard for me to listen to your justification for having the people in the tier above why they are where they are, and then go to this tier and be like, oh. But that cuts against what you're saying. But I understand it.
I don't think these guys can end up in the top tier. The tier above are guys who I think could.
I know that. I'm saying that.
You don't think Justin Herbert could have an everything goes right and win the MVP year?
Even if he did, I don't think he'd be in the group with those top guys, because I think we've learned enough that he's not situationally agnostic. I think at this point we know after 5 years of it, he wasn't going to go into a situation and just completely elevate all of that, like we saw with Burrow, like we've seen with Josh Allen, like we saw with Jaden Daniels.
Right. But I mean, and we know Jalen Hurts, clearly agnostic situation.
He was the person who could get he was the person who could get raised into another tier because he's going to be historic.
So nice.
Look, man, Troy Aikman's in the Hall of Fame in the same way that Jalen Hurts is could end up in the top tier.
Why you get mad at me? I'm just saying that the comparisons or the justifications are not consistent, which is fine. You don't got to be consistent. It's your list.
how is Joe Burrow situation agnostic, Charlie? He's been in this situation with like
Jamar
the top
Chase
receiver in football his entire career. His situation's always been great. How do we know his situation agnostic?
We knew him, first of all, bad
bad.
offensive line, terrible defense,
And
most likely a
Bengals.
bad coach, bad organization who can't pay people on time, can't build out the rest of the roster because of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did miss the
When
postseason.
those things happened, he missed the playoffs, which is something that doesn't happen to Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson.
They've never
Patrick
been in those
Mahomes.
situations. Like quite like that. Anyway.
All right, moving right along.
Next tier. This tier is called the DAX.
We're bringing back the Dax tier.
Yeah. The DAX tier, these are clearly second tier guys who maybe, put them in the right situation. Everything, they can be really good. You sort of know what your ceiling is, but they're nice. They
Can I guess the people in this tier?
Mm-hmm.
Can Dominique and I guess the people in this tier? Dak.
Go for it. Yeah, Dak is in the Dak tier.
Yeah.
Jared Goff.
Yep.
Baker.
Yep.
How many more? How many?
That's
we got?
it. That's the whole tier.
Just went 1, 2, 3 on the Dak tier.
So I think we all agree on this, the tier of DAX. Then
I will ask
that these are some good DAX.
I'll ask one thing though. I remember last year we named a top Dak.
Yeah.
So
Baker's top Dak.
Baker's top Dak. Right?
40 touchdowns. Baker's top Dak.
Baker's the top Dak now. Okay.
Jared Goff's not top Dak?
I think Baker's top Dak.
I mean, Jared Goff had a series of incredible years.
Yeah. So if you were to take top Dak, who's your top Dak?
I think Baker's top Dak. Yeah, I think I would agree with Baker's top Dak. I don't know, like
Baker's really good.
Yeah. The personality is un-Dak-like, though.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
Jared Goff is very Dak-like.
Yeah.
Damn, wait, should we move Herbert into the Dax then? Because he's got a little Dak in the personality.
Nah. You can't move him into the Dax.
No, because the whole point with Herbert is it feels like because he has that hose, he's
outside
more
the
scheme
Dax.
agnostic. Whereas Jared Goff does not have that hose. Baker does not have that hose. Dak does not have that hose.
I don't know. That's a lot of... I'm just going to move along.
All right, we're moving along. Next tier is overrated.
Said hose so many times I wanted to make a joke with it. I was like, nah, let's just keep it going.
I was trying to set you up for it, Dominique.
I know, you did.
The next tier is the overrated last year, underrated this year tier.
Oh.
Brock Purdy, Jordan Love, and CJ Stroud. Purdy and Stroud, the situation sort of fell apart last year. With injuries around them. Stroud obviously had a worse offensive coordinator than we realized with Bobby Slowick. The offensive line was destroyed for him. Purdy lost everything along the way. And they're both, Purdy was better than Stroud, but they had actually very similar numbers, like 100. If you look at the raw numbers, they were both 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, about 100 yards different in total yardage. And then Jordan Love, he was more or less hurt all year. He hurt his MCL in that first game on the turf in Brazil and then hurt his groin later in the season. And obviously he's more erratic than those guys, but these are the guys where I think the pendulum might have swung too much and we aren't thinking about them as like very good quarterbacks still.
Of these three quarterbacks, which one would you choose? It seems obvious to me that there's one guy in here that, because of the way you explain the list, like I understand why he's there, but there's one guy in this grouping to me that I would pull out and have higher expectations to think that he could climb up above the Dax and above.
You know what's funny? I have no idea which of the three you're picking because you could tell me of any of these three.
Bill?
Jordan Love.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Stroud. I think it's Jordan Love too, but when you started defining it that way, like Purdy, if everything comes back, if McCaffrey's healthy and those things, and it's like we look up, they have the easiest schedule, like one of the easiest schedules in the NFL, and they're like 7-2, and he's putting up video game numbers again. But put him up on a higher tier.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the person the player who's more likely to climb tiers and to climb past the Dax and climb all the way up into the highest conversation is Jordan Love.
Jordan Love and a guy from our next tier are two guys who could also enter the biological tree of the Matthew Staffords. Like Jordan Love is in that group, and
so they're not tiers anymore. Now it's like phylums. What are we doing?
He's within it. But like I thought of like
we may have to get a DNA test on Jordan Love if we get Toyotathon Jordan Love in the first half of the year this season.
The next tier of this is a we got our guy. And so there's the thing we talk. It's a mystery box. It could be anything.
Yeah.
It could even be a boat. This is the mystery box, and we're pretty sure it's a boat here. That's Drake May and Bo Nix. And Drake May is the person who, along with Jordan Love, I think could be in that Stafford, Justin Herbert tier by the end of the year. But when you hear that tier, do you like them mixed them together? Still a little bit of mystery box, but we're pretty sure this is going to be a franchise QB guy.
Oh, Barnwell made the yuck face. What you got, Bill?
No, because isn't this like you're taking two people who I think had the exact opposite circumstances last year, right? I mean, Bo Nix had one of the best play callers in football, had maybe the best offensive line, one of the best offensive lines in football. I don't want to get Eagles fans mad at me like Charlie didn't want to get mad at them earlier. One of the three best offensive lines in football last year. A great defense, a team that was constantly playing from ahead, one of the easiest schedules in the league. A legit number one receiver in Cortland Sutton, maybe not a lot behind him, but certainly a better receiver than anybody Drake May had. And meanwhile, Drake May was playing with 10 orphans for most of the year and just trying to keep himself alive from play to play. I understand why you got them to the same place, but it just feels like one had incredibly different circumstances than the other. And it feels like putting them in the same tier almost feels like Bo Nix had to be significantly better than Drake May. And I think if you look at QBR, but I think by more advanced metrics, they were a lot more similar than their raw metrics would suggest.
Yeah, I think that I'm having a hard time, and I've already decided I have to separate. This is about where they end up and all the context around them, and us trying to parse the differences in the quarterbacks is not what this list is about. This list is about
thank you.
Results and a little bit of projection, because I think we all would agree, and it might be some preconceived opinions. I think most of us would believe that Drake May is a more attractive prospect going forward than Bo Nix.
He's 35 years younger than him.
So, Charlie, here's my question. Here's how, make it simple. If you switch Drake May and Bo Nix, how confident are you that Drake May has the better season?
Well,
you switch their teams.
This coming season?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think whoever is the Broncos quarterback between these two will likely have the better season.
I feel like it's not close.
Yeah.
I
think it's closer than you think. I would put
feel like Sean Payton would drive
preconceived.
Bo
I
Nix
think that's
to the
preconceived
airport.
draft takes from that, though.
Yeah.
I think people were so ready to that they didn't like the Bo Nix when it happened. When it happened, they didn't like Sean Payton comparing him to Drew Brees. They didn't like the fact that he couldn't survive in the SEC at Auburn. And it's been 5 years of people continuously underrating Bo Nix. And he's just been really good for a while now. And I think he completely overachieved what we thought he was going to be as a rookie quarterback. And I don't understand why we think he's closer to his ceiling than other players.
Well, you understand why.
Yeah.
I mean, you said it. One is because he's older. And two
but he's really athletic. He's still getting better. It's one thing if he had started to plateau. I don't think that's been the case at all.
This is the exact conversations I heard from Mac Jones and Mitch Trubisky after their first seasons as starters. And it just, you saw the face I made. I got a little stink face when I saw that comparison. I think draft might be draft pitch, could be that, but I believe Sean Payton would drive Bo Nix to the airport and dump him in front of departures if he could get Drake May at quarterback.
Bill, I have to ask you, can Bo Nix throw to his left?
Ooh. I love a good can you throw to your left scenario. Yes, I believe he can throw to his left and to his right. I don't know if he can throw straight. I think,
but if he can throw to his left, he's already ahead of Mitch Trubisky, and that comparison is insulting.
Oh gosh.
Well, we'll see.
Go
ahead.
I started out a little bit frustrated and annoyed with Charlie's tiers. I'm starting to fall in love with him.
They're just getting better too.
They are getting better.
We're going more and more off the rails.
This is the point of the Charlie tiers. It should be.
And this is why we did the opposite way. Because if I did it starting at the weirdest stuff, I don't think you would have taken it as seriously as we actually organized the top tiers that matter. The next tier is the "It's so over" or "We're so back" tier, and that's Trevor Lawrence or Kyler Murray. Because this is make or break for them. It's either we're so backing on them, number one overall picks. The Cardinals are one of the teams that people think are going to be sneaky good this year, and Kyler could be a lot better with McBride and second-year Marvin Harrison Jr. And then Trevor Lawrence has Liam Cohen. What happens if Travis Hunter is just an elite receiver in year one and he plays most of his snaps on offense like we think he is, and they were able to support Brian Thomas Jr. last year, and that could be an incredible receiving core. And, you talk about someone being driven to the airport. I don't think Liam Cohen's getting fired after this year. And if Trevor Lawrence is bad, are we getting are we going to see him on the Steelers next year?
They paid him, so I guess they could try to trade him or something. But
at a certain point, it's going to be a decade into it, and somehow we're going to be We're still waiting for the prince that was promised.
One of these dudes is making $55 million a year, and one of them is making $7 million. I promise you, the dude who gets $7 million, if this team sucks, he's the one who's going to go, not the guy making 55. I don't agree with that.
I got Kyler Murray high school highlights in my algorithm somehow this weekend.
It's irrelevant.
I know. I was just doing a little tangent. Damn, we can't just talk about how nasty he was. And
he's the best. He's the best high school quarterback in Texas history.
That's
crazy.
Ridiculous. Yeah, it's just incredible watching him.
He might be like the best high school athlete in Texas history with the baseball as well.
Too. Well, we're not in high school anymore,
Kyler is much better than people give him credit for. They have been 10th in EPA per play since he came back from the injury in 23. Like, I think people decided in 2022 this is what Kyler is, and they have not paid attention to the Cardinals since. He is not the problem with that football.
He's better than people give him credit for. I don't know if I guess we have to agree on where people think he is, but I think we've always considered Kyler Murray like incredibly exciting player who can do just about everything, but is not consistent, right? Mm-hmm. Which is like his high-end stuff is as good as anybody.
So we're recording this right after the day after the Texas-Ohio State game, and every NFL person I know watched that game and was like, oh, Steve Sarkisian can't do it in the red zone. Oh, just like the Falcons. It's like you missed like 5 years of Steve Sarkisian that you haven't watched. That's not the problem. This is not the issue. The defense is the problem.
Oh, way to sneak in some other angry takes. We got to do, if we're going to do this annual episode, we need to do the Bill Barnwell
airing of grievances.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
I get the sense that Bill is irritated by a lot of people. The way that they
irritated by a lot of people. I just tired most of the time otherwise.
So
Bill, I do have to ask you about Trevor Lawrence. Forget what the team will do. Okay. If he's bad again this year, will that change your opinion of him? Because I know you've been up and down on him at different times, but everything else is in place other than the bad offensive line. Good coordinator, receivers are there, skill guys are there. Like at some point, like what's going to be the tipping point for you?
I would say if they stink this year, it will be much easier for me to make the case that Liam Cohen actually was not that good. This is a guy who couldn't get a head coaching job after he was the offensive coordinator with Sean McVay. He went back to college for a year before going to the Bucs, and he made
Will Levis a first round or second high pick.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's amazing.
It's helpful. The man knows entertainment. He will get you an entertaining quarterback. I agree that Trevor Lawrence at some point has to be blamed, and I think Trevor Lawrence has taken less flack in some circles than maybe he should. But I don't think that like he's beyond excuses. I don't think he's beyond the point where I would sit here and say, oh well, we've tried with enough people. Like that Doug Peterson offense, the Press Taylor offense, same offense that got him fired in Philadelphia, that Jalen Hurts immediately played much better in the moment after those guys left. I'm still not sure about Liam Cohen. I don't know. I see your point. And I think if we get two superstar receivers and Trevor Lawrence is the guy clearly holding them back, I would think differently. But I think it's more likely that we sit here after the year if they have like a 8-9 season and say it was actually Liam Cohen, not Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. I'm surprised that Bill let you get away with that question the way you framed it. Because you said, except for the O-line. You know how we feel about O-line play. You can't just say, except for the O-line, he's got everything. Like, that's...
It's the preseason.
So you just talking about Joe Burrow that way.
He's special.
We just talked about Joe Burrow had everything working for him, except for the O-line.
Yeah, I never argued that Joe Burrow. I stand on the fact that Joe Burrow is one of the only quarterbacks that I think could have saved what was happening in Cincinnati and hasn't completely saved it.
And by the way, these are still top half of the league quarterbacks, at least by tiers.
Oh, cool.
So the next tier, this is where we're in the mids. The missionary position tier. It's fine. It's fine. Sam Darnold.
What are we doing?
Tua and Geno Smith.
Yeah, we're gonna have to cut this tier all together.
Why?
I mean, because it's not fair.
Why is it not fair? Nothing exciting about these guys ever.
I mean, it's because I disagree with the title and what is implied with the title. Like,
I want to be part of this conversation.
I mean, it's implied that it's just fine. I mean, I think it's pretty special. Yeah, so I mean, I get the point that you're making. This is the mid tier.
Yeah,
I just do. I was saying I don't agree that particular act in that particular way is mid to me. It's not mid. It's fantastic. It's like a classic.
Charlie's talking to two successful fathers here.
I know. Yeah, Charlie don't know how to make babies.
Good point. And any way it goes.
Oh,
for the record, based on these tiers, that's the top tier.
I don't know.
Top positional tier.
Oh god.
The next tier. I think this one's fascinating.
We didn't talk about the football for a single second with that.
Yeah.
Tier.
I don't.
You want to talk about Tua, Sam Darnold, or Geno Smith? No, you don't. Which is why the tier was properly named. You're not dapping up your bros on a Sunday, being like, "Let's talk about Sam Darnold, Tua, or Geno Smith."
Why does Charlie think of us as like a cartoon version of men? Like, what do you? When's the last time you dapped up your bros because you had a romantic evening? Like when you were 15?
Let's say like 10 plus years ago.
Exactly. That's what I mean. It's like, why are you painting this picture of us like we're Neanderthals? Like, hey, got it.
By the way,
got it.
For the record, I could have put Geno in the Dax, but I just couldn't do it.
Why not?
Geno's good.
Yeah. Oh.
It just seemed to fit better.
Okay, I forgot that your tiers aren't actually tiers.
They're
you're saying that Geno is better, but he's in a lower tier.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, Geno could have been in the Dak tier, but like I just like based on name value, you just fit better with these guys.
Okay.
The next tier is called "This Seems Pretty Disrespectful, but to Who?" And it's Bryce Young and Caleb Williams.
That's a well-named tier because I think, yeah,
you got me on this one, Charlie.
It's a good tier.
This also feels like a mystery box situation where it's like we don't really know what they are. They've both shown enough to be like, hey, this guy might really not be good, or shown enough to be like, hey, it could be a franchise quarterback. Of the quarterbacks in this tier, which one would you, I guess there's two separate questions. I'm not sure which one is more interesting, but Bill, maybe you could help me. Which quarterback would you rather have, or which quarterback you think is going to be more successful? Because I think we all would pick Caleb Williams because of all the situation and because he is like closer to a normal football size as the one who would be more successful. But I'm not sure that's the player you would want the most.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying that because Bryce Young is a Nerf football that you wouldn't actually respect him and want to pick him. I would say Caleb because I think he is going to be put in a better position to succeed. And I know that this is supposed to be scheme situation agnostic. I still think if Caleb is in a really good spot this year, he will look better than Bryce Young. Where, I mean, I don't know. To be fair, like apparently losing your number 3 receiver is like a biggest news before the Micah Parsons trade, like the Adam Thielen story.
Thielen, yeah.
I don't really understand why, like, we're talking about Carolina's 3rd receiver is like this major addition for JJ McCarthy and the Vikings, but I don't know if he has enough. I don't think he's ever had enough. I don't know if they can put as much on his shoulders as the Bears can with Caleb Williams. I think Caleb Williams tried to put too much on his shoulders, if anything, last year, and that turned out to be
I got a question
disaster.
for you, Charlie. Which of these players, if you can only pick one, ascends to like top of the league type of value? And it's not based on which one you think could or would. I wonder which one you would want. You could pick one and guarantee that he has the type of career or the type of few seasons that puts him up.
You're saying if I could choose, if I got to pick between the two of them, which one I want to be better?
Right. Because the reason why I asked you that specifically is because your pre-draft assessment of Bryce Young, you are like outside of the normal group of people because you said like everyone was saying he should be number 1, everyone should be great, but like you had a hard time with like downside outliers, which like I respect. And so then you would be right if he's not great. And then the other thing is
I thought it was kind of cool last year when he actually turned his season around. I think,
you thought it was cool when he turned the season around because it started off poorly. I guess.
Yeah, because people thought he was going to be out of the league.
I was just explaining to the people who don't follow all of Charlie's takes why this question is interesting to me, because I think that your position on Caleb, even though he's a DC guy.
If you don't have Charlie plus, Domonique is helping you out here.
Even though Caleb's a DC guy, it hasn't struck me as you kind of get a little offended. This is your contrarian side. You've always been a little bit hesitant on Caleb.
The first time I saw Caleb Williams play at Oklahoma, I was like, he's going to be the first pick in the draft. He should win the Heisman Trophy. And he did not. It was when he was replacing Spencer Rattler, but like I was very high on him. And then, I mean, I don't know. I'm just going to piss off Bears fans, so I'll do it anyway. I just thought he was just annoying last year. And I thought the way he talked about being like, they booed before I got here. I was like, dude, take any accountability. Domonique, what's the rule of the locker room?
Oh, accountability plays.
With that said, as far as if one of them could end up as like their ceiling of top of the league guys, both of them play such an exciting style of football. Like they're both running around, extending plays, playing a higher risk, higher variance game that like deep down, if either one of them became awesome, I would be like, this is cool. Like Bryce, because he's tiny and is basically like, what if Doug Flutie became an all-pro? Caleb Williams, because if he were to live up to his draft type, it's like having another guy who's in that tier of the like Mahomes, Josh Allen type play extender guy. So I don't really have.
You can't pick one.
Yeah, I don't really have issues with either of them for that. But like, which one do I think has a better chance of getting there? Caleb. Of course, it's Caleb. I think like situationally, what I think is so interesting about this is Caleb's situation this year. He has no excuses in year 2. If he's bad by like Halloween again, and he's got Ben Johnson, and he's got the receivers, and he's got the revamped offensive line, and the defense is pretty good, like what are we gonna say? They need to get him Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley? Like there's nothing else
that
missing there.
I mean,
yeah, sure,
nice,
but like it's just
we're gonna be saying Tyson Bagent.
Yeah.
Drops back to pass is what we're going to be saying.
Yeah, it's like that one to me, I think that's interesting. And then the Bryce Young part about it, I think people have taken way too much certainty in what he did in the back half of the season. I think people really like Bryce Young, but they've taken it to be like a certainty they'll be good now.
When people say, and I do this too, so I'm partly to blame too. When people say, oh, he's going to have no excuses, you should be forced to sign a document that says you're not allowed to try and make excuses for that quarterback the next year.
Bill tried to say that if we had a Bill Barnwell airing of grievances episode, that he couldn't come up with any. Bill, you're chock full of them. You're chock full of things that people in the media do that annoy you. It's okay. We all are. You don't have to be ashamed. Mm-hmm. I just think it would be funny for you to share some of them because I can tell that right now you're picturing some faces or at least some Twitter avatars who get on your damn nerves for doing this type of stuff. And it's okay. We're a new day of sports media. Also, name names.
I mean, I was off for 3 months. Trust me. I wasn't doing anything. I had 3 months of like pent up takes that I had to get out. You're going to hear him.
Also, Bill, I think I've been consistently inconsistent with my logic for years.
Yes. Fair.
Is that, are you saying that as you're proud of it?
I'm just saying like that the standard's been set. It's not like I've been following like a hard, fast like list of rules. I'm a vibes guy.
I was going to make a missionary joke after a hard fast, but I didn't because I'm mature.
Sure. And after I had 3 months of takes spent up, I was going to make a missionary joke, and I said, "Let's not." Let's move on.
The next tier is before we had the mystery box. We think it's a boat. This is mystery box. It could even be a boat. Michael Penix Jr., JJ McCarthy, Jackson Dart, and Cameron Ward.
I'm just pretty excited about Cameron Ward.
I am too.
Yeah.
It's just so hard to rank them before you see them play in the NFL really at all.
Yeah.
How much did the preseason change the way you felt about Jackson Dart?
More than anything, the fact that his brother's name is Diesel, the fact that he doesn't know how to use Easy Pass, the fact I think the Giants might be the sneaky good bad team this year. I've been like everything has changed. The TikTok edits of all the Jackson Dart TikTok edits about the on-campus scandal he was in last season. I was like, dog factor high in this guy.
Oh gosh!
And I put him in this because I think he's going to play.
Yeah,
I included him in the starters because I think he will be a starter by midseason.
I'm excited about Michael Penix also.
I'm excited about Michael Penix too. I really can't imagine anything that could have gone better for Jackson Dart during the preseason that would have made Giants fans more desperate to get him in the lineup ahead of Russell Wilson. Yeah. It feels like everything he possibly could have done to appeal to Giants fans to chant for him in week 3 when they're getting blown out by the Chiefs, he hit every note you could possibly hit, including nearly getting a concussion on a scramble. That is, he nailed the audition perfectly. He's going to be in the lineup before the end of September.
Honestly, I'm kind of excited about all of these guys.
Yeah, I was going through this list of players looking for one of them that I'm really interested in and excited about, so I could like do a little bit of analysis based on this. And I can't really pick one. I think because the ceiling is so high for Cameron Ward, I think I might be most excited about him. But like Penix with that offense could be great. JJ McCarthy in that situation could also be pretty incredible. And Jackson Dart is probably one I'm least excited for. And it's still like at some point
he's shown a lot of talent.
I appreciate that you are honest about the influences. because I think a lot of us also recognize that some of these other ancillary things influence the way that we feel about a player, but we're unable to, like, oh yeah, I got caught up in a cool TikTok rabbit hole of his edits. Now I think he's better than he is, which it happened to me with Jackson Dart. Maybe he is that good, but the edits.
And the reports have been, like the beat reporter.
Nope,
and people
it's the edits. I went and found the beat reports after the edits so that I could support that the edits told me that man nice.
Yeah.
Dominique, doing journalism a solid there.
You're welcome, buddy.
The next
first the edits.
The next tier, the drinking orange juice right after brushing your teeth tier. Okay. It's bad, but it's just a matter of how bad.
There
tier.
We go.
Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, Joe Flacco, and Daniel Jones.
Wholesome name. I like that name a lot better than the other name that I'm sure we just cut out of this program altogether.
You guys don't even want to know. Put it this way. Domonique Foxworth got offended by the other name Charlie had for this tier. That's how you know it was up.
I was mainly offended because that's a thing? Like, I didn't know that anybody ever did that. What is that? But anyway.
Dominique, we live very different lives than you two.
That's nonsense. Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, Joe Flacco, Daniel Jones. I actually think Daniel Jones, I talked myself into this last week, and Charlie doesn't love it.
No, you got this. You reunited with Jeff Satter, and he comes back from New York, and he's like, I think the Colts are going to be good this year.
Jeff wasn't there. Jeff is on vacation. He's not going to be back until the following week, and I'm not going up there this week because first week of school, but you know where I start. I start with O-line. They got a good O-line. They have talented weapons. They got a respectable defensive line. They've added Lou Anarumo, which I think will have possibly some peaks and valleys for defense, but the peaks could be there also. I think that this team in that division that has a lot of other question marks. Like the only thing that I know for certain in that division is the Texans defense is ridiculous. And so I think that with Daniel Jones in that situation, not asking much of him, adding his running ability to Jonathan Taylor, I think that this team is going to be better than the perception of them, because I think they're viewed as like bottom dwellers a lot because Anthony Richardson hasn't panned out the way that we thought he would. I don't think this roster is bad, and I think Daniel Jones is at least a mediocre quarterback. I think this team will be better.
So the arguments you brought up are that the rest of the division sucks, which is true, and that they got the Bengals defensive coordinator, the guy who could not make it to the postseason with Joe Burrow, who is in 1B of Charlie's tiers.
Which will be 1A come postseason. For the record, those tiers will flip 1A in January.
I mean, I want to believe, I feel like the Colts are, like people just write off the Colts as crappy in their heads, don't actually pay attention. They were 8-9 last year, but I had to witness the Daniel Jones experience, Dominique. I had to go through 3 years.
That's fine.
The problem to me,
That's fine.
The problem to me is not that you're going to get, if you could get 17 games of Daniel Jones, it would be one thing. You're going to get like 3, and then he's going to get hurt. And then you're going to do Anthony Richardson, he's going to get hurt. And you're not going to have any rhythm. There's going to be no consistency in the offense. You're one Jonathan Taylor injury away from feeling like you have a college offense with the players you have. I just don't.
I understand all that, Bill Barnwell, but of the quarterbacks in this tier, I was trying to pick one quarterback in this tier to say something about that is interesting and exciting and positive. So go ahead. Daniel Jones, Joe Flacco, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields.
This is easy. Joe Flacco was like the most entertaining quarterback in football for half a season with the Browns. You don't think we're going to have like a fun Joe Flacco game or two to fuck around? You're not going to get like a 5-touchdown, 4-pick Daniel Jones game.
I agree. The Joe Flacco experience is going to be fun. They're not going to be good.
Oh no, they're going to stink.
They're not going to be good.
That's kind of the fun of it.
Yeah, Charlie, of these quarterbacks in this tier that you made, which the one that you're most interested in watching? I guess you're with Bill Barnwell with the Flacco experience.
Honestly, I kind of think it's Daniel Jones. Like I'm with you on that, just also because the excuses for him. Like,
I don't know if I'm happy or not that you're on my side.
I mean, I'm not excited about watching any of these. Like, let's be like, we're at like the third to the bottom tier.
All right, let's get to the next tier then.
All right. Hey, this one's kind of random, but this guy he kind of looks like an adult version of Cannon Curry. That's Spencer Rattler. He's in his own tier.
All right, yeah. You got that joke off. I appreciate it. It was funny. Now we can move on to the next tier.
Agreed. Not to lie.
There's nothing to discuss.
All right, this is the last tier of professional quarterbacks, and then there's one final tier after that. But this tier is Mason Rudolph, Duck Hodges, Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. What's the difference? These guys are going 8 to 10 games and no one takes you seriously. Aaron Rodgers, you're going to tier by yourself as the worst professional quarterback. You destroy an organization on the field, off the field. I don't care that you can still sling the pill the way you can.
You know what I think is most interesting about this Aaron Rodgers is none of us will realistically consider that
he's good at football. So actually, sling he's good.
No, that's fine. All that aside, I understand that most of your tiers are for entertainment purposes only. But none of us have given any consideration to the idea that the Steelers could actually have a bad season because we believe that Mike Tomlin is incapable of having a bad season. I don't think that they're going to have a bad season. But thinking about the way that Aaron Rodgers will be remembered, if he goes from the Packers to the Jets, the injury aside, then the following season just kind of nuclear bombs the whole organization to a point where they are lower than they were before they got him. If he goes from there to the Steelers and the Steelers have a bad season, and he will be seen as the reason why Mike Tomlin went below his 500, his million-year, never below 500 streak. Like, the end of Aaron Rodgers' career might, change the perception of the way he was a quarterback more than I can think of it ever happening for any other player in sports. I mean, for things that happen on the field, obviously, because there are other people whose careers.
But also, you kind of think they're going to go 8-9, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's still below 500.
Aaron Rodgers as a contagion that maybe you could get some kind of inoculation from and have him avoid your organization, Domonique Foxworth.
No, you can't. There's no vaccine for that arm strength, man. He throw that ball and everybody is seduced.
I do have to ask you guys, do you think that what's more likely, that this team goes 12-5 or 5-12 this year?
12-5.
12-5.
Yeah.
I kind of do
only because
too.
I've been burned so many times before. Objectively, you're taking a team that was very old in a lot of places. Most of their stars in defense are old. They're getting a year older. You have serious questions about the quarterback. I mean, he on paper has been worse than Russell Wilson, worse than Justin Fields, worse than the guys they've had over the past few years by advanced metrics. He's a year older. It's not like he's likely to get any older or any better because he's of his aging curve. He's at a point where there's been one player in the history of football who's been a good quarterback at this age. And all the things that he had with the Jets to make the offense more to his liking are gone. There's no receivers he's familiar with. There's no Devontae Adams, no Alan Lazard. There's no Nathaniel Hackett. Theoretically, he's in a situation that's much more unforgiving and unfamiliar for him than the offenses he's had in the past. Objectively, he should be even worse than the guy we saw over the past 2 years who dragged down two organizations, at least temporarily in the process.
I was trying to think of the proper analogy if it's like a TV show that had really great early seasons and then you still tune in because you believe that they're going to retouch that glory. I think Aaron Rodgers... I gave up after season 1, man. In season 1, I liked it. I couldn't get back into it after that.
You're smart.
But it reminds me of a label on a drink that you suspect that it's going to taste great, but it's actually past its expiration date. And
you think he's Westworld?
Oh, that's perfect because he's
he thinks it's a lot smarter than it actually is, just like the show was.
Yeah, I think we might need to change this to the Westworld tier.
I like that.
He's the Westworld tier of quarterbacks. I think I also just put this in your pocket. Maybe later. Bill, I think, is more serious than us. So if I suggested one day that he get a fake mustache and a hat so that he could tell us his honest opinions and take on an alter ego, then he would not participate in that. Because Bill, if you listen in to some of Bill's takes, it's like, I know I can't say that, but I know what you really think, Bill. I know what you really think. If I listen closely, I'm like, nah, Bill don't want to get aggregated. So if we give you a hat and a disguise, then you can say and we give you a new name like Phil Warnwell, then you can say all the things that you really think about Aaron Rodgers and all the other quarterbacks.
Sounds like you're giving me permission to be racist, and that's not the point of the show, Domonique Foxworth. No, I don't want that. I'm not a racist person.
I love it. I
will. You know what? We will. The problem is, even if I'm right, it doesn't matter. I spent all of 2023 going on TV saying the Jets were going to stink. The Jets stunk. They were actually better with Zach Wilson than they were with Aaron Rodgers. It didn't matter. There's no point in being right about Aaron Rodgers. People made up their minds a year ago. They believe he's the same Aaron Rodgers from a few years ago. The Steelers are going to go 9-8. They're going to be the 7th seed. They're going to get their kicked in the postseason, and we're going to be having the same conversation about them next year.
Never mind. We don't need the hat mustache.
I was about to say, we found it. So you guys ready for the last tier?
Give it to me.
I'm only including you on this list in this show for clicks. I'm being transparent about it. Just give me them sweet clicks. And because of your daddy and your daddy's daddy, or people related to your daddy, or people related to your daddy's tier. And this is Shedeur Sanders and Arch Manning.
That's actually a great tier. I think we can end on that. Like, dude, Arch didn't seem comfortable.
Yeah. Neither one of those guys are guaranteed to be on an NFL roster next year.
I think one of them might not want to be on an NFL roster next year. Maybe both, depending on how the TikTok edits are going.
That's what I mean, because Arch could go back to school, of course. That's good.
Not if those TikTok edits hit. If they hit hard, then we're gonna get. I mean, he's the Heisman front runner, right? All that stuff.
Not anymore. He's like
sure
10th in the race now.
Jeez. Oh well, he'll be all right, I think.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Shedeur, I don't know. Arch will be fine.
Yeah, Shedeur is in a tough spot. All right, that was fun, Charlie. You're the man. Thank you for bringing your tears. Are we going to redo it again at some point throughout the season?
Yeah.
Like we did last year?
We'll do it at some point mid or late season again, where we'll update the tiers. And I'll most likely have been wrong about a lot of things, but I can't be. This is vibes. My vibes will change. These vibes are malleable. I think these tiers could be different tomorrow if I did them tomorrow.
Poor Brian's got to edit this.
What's going to be the biggest change in Charlie's tiers between now and the mid-season update to Charlie's tiers?
I think Cameron Ward is going to make a huge jump in the Charlie tiers. I think Cam Ward is going to move up in the tiers. Jordan Love also. Jordan Love won't be in the company of Purdy and Stroud by the end of this. What do you think, Bill?
I think there's going to be a new tier. I apologize for reverse jinxing you. Or I guess for straight up jinxing you. Excuse me. I apologize for straight up jinxing you. And that's going to be Jaden Daniels in like tier 5.
Oh, Charlie didn't even
I've
never been more confident. The guy who just defends Trevor Lawrence to his grave is coming at my quarterback.
I remember confident that the excuse for why his situation is going to be great this year is they got the best offensive lineman from the Houston Texans, the team that could not protect CJ Stroud, to save their lives last year.
And Josh Connerly and Bill and Debo, and he put on some muscle in the offseason. A
day 3 running back and Debo, who was dropping passes all over the place last year. Come on, Charlie.
But a VR headset, though.
Charlie, I love you. I don't want to see this happen to you. I'm trying to protect your heart in this situation.
No. It's too late.
Yeah, it's too late.
Here's the thing: is like Bill, like Jaden Daniels is a religious experience. You don't understand. There's no logic that you can give me, no matter how sound, that will change my mind from what I saw on that field.
When that ball flies through the air.
Do you remember after RG3's first season in Washington, people were literally buying him wedding gifts?
Yeah.
That's where they were. I've seen this before. It hurts. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much for joining us, Charlie. Congratulations on another successful episode. Burn those shoes. Thanks to all the great producers, Paul, Bill. I love you. We out.
This is the Domonique Foxworth Show.